How to Beat Laziness Forever. Brian Tracy. Laziness is a silent saboteur. It does not announce itself with drama or fireworks. It creeps in quietly, disguising stagnation as comfort and procrastination as taking a break. Entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors know that every hour lost to inertia is market share ceded to competitors and opportunities left for others to seize. Brian Tracy, renowned for his work on productivity and peak performance, reminds us that success is not an accident, but a deliberate choice made moment by moment. Conquering laziness, then, is not just a personal victory, it is a strategic imperative for anyone determined to build, grow, and sustain an enterprise that matters. Laziness thrives on three pillars: unclear goals, overwhelming complexity, and a lack of immediate feedback. When goals are vague, the mind rebels. It cannot marshal energy for an undefined destination. Complexity compounds the issue. A cluttered to-do list, an inbox teeming with requests, and competing priorities blur our sense of what truly moves the needle. Finally, without fast feedback, motivation fizzles. Humans are wired to respond to quick wins and visible progress. When those are missing, lethargy takes over. Technology exacerbates the challenge. Notifications fragment attention into digital confetti. The dopamine loop of scrolling provides the illusion of activity while producing nothing of value. Entrepreneurs, ever hunting for new insights, can fall prey to research that morphs into endless browsing. Business owners get stuck in operational whirlpools, checking dashboards, answering low-leverage emails rather than steering the ship strategically. Investors drown in data, chasing every headline until analysis paralysis becomes the default. Psychologically, laziness is rarely about sloth. It is often fear masquerading as fatigue, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of looking foolish in front of peers or the market. It manifests as perfectionism. I'll start when it's flawless, and chronic over-planning, just one more spreadsheet. The cost is enormous: delayed product launches, missed deals, eroded team morale, lost capital, and perhaps worst of all, the erosion of self-trust. Each day you postpone decisive action, you reinforce the belief that you may never act at all. 1. Clarify your North Star. Brian Tracy teaches that clarity accounts for a significant portion of high performance. Begin with a single, crystal-clear objective that passes 3 tests. It excites you, it scares you just enough to spark growth, and it can be measured in concrete outcomes. Write it down, in bold, and keep it visible on your phone lock screen, your office wall, your journal header. The mind, like a missile, needs a target to avoid drifting off course. 2. Break goals into MIT's most important tasks. The antidote to overwhelming complexity is ruthless prioritization. Identify the 1 to 3 tasks that, if completed today, would make everything else easier or unnecessary. Trace every MIT directly to revenue, profitability, or strategic positioning. Schedule them in the golden hours, your personal peak energy window, and defend that time as fiercely as you would a meeting with your largest client. 3. Harness the 80-20 rule on steroids. Brian Tracy often cites Pareto's principle, but top performers apply it recursively. Ask, which 20% of customers drive 80% of profit? Which 20% of features delight 80% of users? Which 20% of portfolio positions generate 80% of returns? Then ask the question again inside that subset. You will discover needle-moving leverage points. Focus there and laziness loses its grip because the payoff becomes tangible and immediate. 4. Install the power of the first action. Action begets motivation faster than motivation begets action. Commit to a 2-minute entry point. Open the draft pitch deck. Call one potential investor. Outline the first slide. Momentum builds a psychological flywheel. Once started, it is harder to stop than to continue. Keep a done list beside your to-do list. Each micro-completion releases dopamine, reinforcing productive behavior. 5. Adopt time blocking and batching. Schedule tasks in focus blocks 45 to 90 minutes followed by deliberate breaks. Group similar activities together. Prospecting calls in one batch, financial analysis in another, creative brainstorming in another. Context switching is the oxygen of laziness. Suffocate it by concentrating effort. 6. Leverage public accountability. Declare your commitments to your team, mastermind group, or social audience. Entrepreneurs hate to lose face. External expectations transform private wishes into public promises. Brian Tracy notes that the fear of embarrassment can be harnessed positively when it pushes you toward your stated goals. 7. Engineer your environment. Willpower is fickle. Environment is decisive. Remove temptations, disable non-essential notifications, log out of social media, keep your workspace clutter-free. Surround yourself with cues of action. Inspirational quotes. Tracy's favorites include "Eat that frog," and "If it's to be, it's up to me," visual progress trackers, and a dedicated focus playlist. The easier it is to start, the harder it becomes to stall. 8. Invest in energy, not just time. Sleep, nutrition, hydration, and exercise are not lifestyle luxuries, they are productivity multipliers. Entrepreneurs who treat their body as an afterthought soon find their ventures suffering. Schedule workouts as immovable appointments. Hydrate before coffee. Prioritize protein and complex carbs to maintain stable glucose charts and stable decision-making. A fit founder is a focused founder. 9. Practice mental rehearsal. Every evening, visualize tomorrow's MITs as already accomplished. Athletes and astronauts use this technique, so do peak performance executives. By pre-experiencing success, you prime neural circuits, reducing resistance at go time. In the morning, rehearse again for 60 seconds. The brain will feel déjà vu, smoothing the transition from planning to doing. 10. Celebrate and iterate. Track weekly wins. Revenue milestones, systems built, meetings closed, record them. Celebrate with your team and privately. Positive reinforcement rewires the habit loop that fuels industriousness. Simultaneously, run a brutal after-action review. What stimuli triggered procrastination? Which processes lagged? Adjust systems, not merely willpower. Conclusions. Beating laziness forever is not a one-time epiphany, but an ongoing strategic campaign. Entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors live in dynamic arenas where yesterday's hustle grants only temporary advantage. Brian Tracy's wisdom crystallizes into a simple truth: decisive, disciplined action creates compounding results. When you clarify your destination, simplify your path, and fortify your habits, laziness loses its disguise and retreats. You become the architect of your schedule, the commander of your energy, and the master of outcomes that matter. If this guide ignited your drive to crush procrastination and elevate your enterprise, take the next bold step. Subscribe to stay fueled with proven strategies. Comment below with the first MIT you will tackle today, like to signal you are committed to high performance, and share this article with a colleague who refuses to settle for mediocrity. Success favors the decisive. Make your move now and beat laziness forever.